Once every now and then, a monitor comes out that checks every box. Ultra-wide, high refresh rate, low millisecond response time, high res, great colors, great accuracy, good for gaming, flashy RGB, I'm talking everything.
Young Titty, man, cut that up for my boy.
The new Ultra Gear monitor that just dropped from LG is 38 inches and comes with all of that and more. But it comes at a price.
You're sold?
What?
Is this not John Riley's residence?
No.
Oh. Well, this is awkward. I'll leave you be. My apologies. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Anyways, let's take a look at the display. I spent a little over a month using this monitor as my daily driver, and panel-wise, there was very little to complain about. Colors were bright and accurate. The Nano IPS panel claims a DCI P3 of 98%. My color calibration using a Datacolor Spider 3 showed it was pretty much spot on. If you look at the before and after, not a whole lot of difference between the calibration out of the box and my actual calibration. The color on it was also real consistent. This is the first IPS display I've used that doesn't have any color bleed really. And the little bit that it did was very uniform. There was no bright splotches anywhere on the monitor. Text on this bad boy was crisp, as 3840 by 1600p is about the same pixels per inch as a 27-inch or 34-inch 1440p panel. Window snapping was a breeze, and editing videos on this thing with that super long timeline was fantastic. And fellas, don't let them tell you otherwise. Timeline size does matter. Usually you find a 34-inch monitor for ultra-wide being the standard size, and that'll get you maybe 1.5 displays worth of actual screen usability. With the 38-inch, I felt like I was actually using a dual monitor display on one panel. Both sections, when split screen, were full size, easy to read, and it was real easy to go back and forth between the two. Aside from going all the way to a 49-inch display, I think 38 inches is the real sweet spot when it comes to ultra-wide. It's not scrunched down and thin, you get a little more vertical room, but it's not so hard to handle that you need to get a friend to help you set it up. And when you're done with your work for the day, my oh my, is gaming on this thing a treat. From the instant I booted into Call of Duty, I could tell I was in for an experience. Enemies that normally would be hard to spot were easy to pinpoint across map. Color and contrast were great, and that's without even true HDR. This panel is only HDR 400, which isn't really enough to get you that full experience, but you could tell this was top level. As far as high refresh rate goes, I like to think I have quite a bit of experience with different displays. But after using the 1 millisecond response time on this one, let me tell you, those don't pale in comparison. If the Scepter monitors that I reviewed before were butter, then this was cold Italian gelato. I meticulously scanned all 38 inches of this panel, looking for any type of hitching or any pixel out of place. But I'm happy to say the powerful trio of a low response time, high refresh rate, and G-Sync kicked the living crap out of anything that I sent at it. I know it's anecdotal at best, and I used to think it was nonsense myself, but I legitimately played better when using this monitor. I don't have any hard numbers to cover it, but I felt that the link between my movements to what I saw on screen were perfect. I didn't feel like a superhero, mind you. Monitor on its own isn't going to make you any better at the game. But everything felt natural. When I moved the mouse, my character moved with it, and that alone added more immersion than any amount of pixels could. And here is where I wish this review would end. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this monitor came at a price. And that price was $1,800.
What?
That's 180 and an extra fat goose egg at the end. A goose egg that I think is appropriate because that's how much you're gonna have in your bank account after you buy this thing. And at that steep price, there's definitely some issues. The devil's in the details.
You rang?
Would you get out of here?
Alright.
First off, when you drop $1,800 on anything, what materials do you expect? Maybe some aluminum, some soft touch plastic, at least some metal in the first place. At least it has to be solid, right? Well, this monitor has none of that. The base, I guess it does the job, and by that I mean the monitor won't tip over on you, but it wobbles like crazy at the littlest vibration. And have fun trying to get this in the perfect spot. This monitor is not heavy, partially because of the cheap-ass plastics used for the back, but it still sags every time you try to position it vertically. Just watch. I'll bring it up, it sags down about a ½ inch. I'll bring it up again, it sags down another ½ inch. As far as ergonomics go, you get a minimal range of tilt and an okay range on height, but that's it. No swivel, no panning left and right, so you better make sure you have room for the long extended feet on the base on your desk, because there's no way you're gonna be able to tilt this either side. Vase mounting is probably gonna be your best option. I know a lot of people gave Apple crap for it, but when they had a $1,000 stand for their ProArt display, at least it was a really good engineered piece of equipment. I just can't see someone feeling that $1,800 is worth it for this thing. There's a bunch of other options out there, especially at this price point. For example, here's my current setup. Two 27-inch 4Ks on either side, and smack dab in the middle is a 27-inch 1440p display that, bear in mind, also has 170 Hz, also is IPS, also has HDR400, and also has 1 millisecond response time. Now you'd think, this isn't a good comparison. 3 displays, that can't equal the 1 middle. But my whole setup, including the floating monitor stand, which works perfectly, was $1,200 total. That's $600 less than the single Ultra Gear monitor, and exactly the same amount that the government just dropped in all your wallets. Now, my review for the other monitors is coming next week. But if you put these side by side at $600 less, I think 90 to 100% of you would pick the 3 monitor option over this 38-inch. And I'm not even gonna mention the beast of a system that you would need to run 1600p at 170 Hz. So just in the back of your head, include that into the cost for this thing. So can I recommend the Ultra Gear? Not really. If you have the money and you want to ball out for balling out's sake, I'm not gonna stop you. But should you sell your soul and empty your wallet for it? No. I'd spend your money elsewhere. Hey everybody. I completely forgot to record an outro. I was going to do it in the devil makeup, but once I had that stuff on, I really just wanted to get it off. So I completely forgot to. So we're just going to do it via voiceover. If you like the video, as always, throw it a like. If you dislike the video, let me know down in the comments, and make sure to hit that dislike button. I really want to see those averages. If you like the channel, subscribe. I got more stuff coming out every week now that we're on lockdown. Gives me more chances to make videos, so I guess there's some positive there. I want to know, if you had $1,800, would you drop it all on this one display? Or would you do what I did and get some cheaper monitors, but have way more screen real estate? Kind of interested in see what everyone says. Pretty much, if you had unlimited budget, what would be your ideal monitor setup? I think there's more bang for the buck here, but I want to know. I feel like some people would actually like having everything in one on $1,800, so I kind of want to judge it down there. Got some new stuff coming, some channel announcements coming out soon, so feel free and stay tuned. And as always, I'm TK with TK Tech. See you guys in the next one.